morning, Henk. Welcome to the next episode of the GTI Video Views. We want to talk a little bit about the challenges in the TDM industry and what GTI proposed to do and how we propose to address and maybe solve some of these challenges.
Neil, thank you for having me here this morning. I will gladly address the questions that you have for me on exactly that subject.
In your opinion, Henk, what are these major challenges that the industry is facing?
If we're looking at the TDM industry itself, the challenges that they are facing, number one, is access to the market. Our surveys show that our TDM industry is simply not getting the work. The work is going offshore and it's not staying in South Africa.
But why? Why are these guys not getting the work? There is capacity, but they're not, as you say, they're not getting the work. And why is that, in your opinion?
Okay. My opinion is that, and I'm especially going to refer to the automotive sector, is that over the years, an urban legend has developed that says importing is better. South African tool makers cannot supply to quality, cost and delivery targets, and this has become a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's the one aspect of it. The second aspect of it is that in terms of the way that the purchasing is structured, we find that the individuals who make the purchasing decisions does not always have all the information available about the true life cycle cost of the tooling that they are purchasing. That's very important. And then there are unintended consequences. For a young engineer to actually fly to China, to be able to buy perfume in Singapore, or to get a camera in Hong Kong is a real perk. So some of these unintended consequences, traveling is considered to be a perk, I think has got a serious influence on the decisions that are being made.
Are those costs not then fully costed into the end product that's eventually delivered here?
The answer is no.
Okay.
The structure that we have in terms of purchasing of tooling is that the purchasing department or the tool purchasing department is actually remunerated, and their bonuses are focused on how cheaply they can purchase the tool. Once the tool is in production for any period of time, any life cycle cost goes to the maintenance account. So therefore, the purchasing department never sees the life cycle cost. The maintenance guys are then under pressure to actually fix the tool, get the tool to work for its complete life, etc., etc. Okay. So the purchasing of tools and the way that it's purchased contributes to the fact that purchasing are not being made in South Africa.
You mentioned earlier that a contributing factor to these kinds of decisions are the perception that we can't produce quality tools in South Africa. Do we have any proof that the contrary is true?
The contrary is true. Right now we have a guy called Mr. Jim Plester, which is making and has made a number of tools in South Africa that's currently being used for Bentley. Now Bentley is on the same quality par as Rolls-Royce, and therefore if that kind of quality of tool can be used in the United Kingdom to build a Bentley, there's no reason why we cannot make the tools in South Africa. Then the second part is that some time ago the skin panels and the major panels of the Maserati was actually made in Port Elizabeth in one of the bigger tool rooms there. So there's no doubt that South Africa has got a certain capacity and a capability, and that is not currently fully utilized.
Do we have any proposals for solutions to address some of these challenges that the industry stands against?
Yeah. The tool-making sector here in Gauteng has organized themselves in the fact that they had an AGM, and they have now a new TASA Gauteng executive that represents the tool, die and mold making in the province. And they have come up with a plan that stands on four pillars. The first one is protection, the second one is promotion, the third one is pooling, and the fourth one is then actually production of the product.
Okay, so instead of marketing's 4 Ps, now we have tool and die and mold making's 4 Ps.
Well, that's what it amounts to, and that is what they are doing.
And protection. What is the? I mean, protection against what? What is the intention? What is the problem firstly, and then what is the intention of, or the plan of action in this regard?
Okay, if we look at protection, we must realize that under the current rules and regulations and incentive schemes, the tool, die and mold making industry in South Africa has zero protection. We find that countries such as Korea has got an 8% tax on imported tools. On the BRICS countries and the protection for their tool, die and mold making industry, I will give feedback somewhere in the future. I don't have the figures here. But there is zero protection for the TDM sector. However, it's not impossible to organize protection for the TDM sector, as amongst others, the valve cluster and the pump cluster and the foundries, for instance, have got protection in place in that sense that for certain categories, if any government incentive or funding is involved, the product must be sourced in South Africa. There's no reason why we cannot have a mechanism that certain tools and certain tool sizes and certain tool technologies, if it is incentivized, such as with the APDP, must be made in South Africa, or at least the South African tool makers have the first right of refusal.
Okay.
So that sort of protection is something that we have never addressed before, and we have to address it if we want the industry to survive.
Okay. The second P, promotion. How do we plan? What do we plan doing in that regard, or assisting the industry in that regard?
Okay. In terms of promotion, we have a situation that we have to support and promote the buy tooling in South Africa roadmap. Proudly South Africa, creating jobs in South Africa. We have to promote that. Now, I must also share with you that for every one individual that is actually being employed by the OEMs, there are 4 individuals or 4 people employed by the Tier 2 suppliers, the Tier 1 and the Tier 2 suppliers. However, for the same turnover, there would be 8 to 12 individuals employed in the TDM sector, as the tool, die and mold making sector is so much more labor or people intensive. So, but unfortunately, the foundation of our industry is being neglected. So we have to promote the importance of the TDM sector. We've got to promote the fact that is the foundation of all manufacturing in South Africa. And that is what we will do under the promotion.
That would entail a whole sort of change of image of the sector, making it more sexy, making it more understandable for the man in the street, because many people haven't got an idea what tool making is all about, and the importance of the support function of tool making into the manufacturing industry.
You are correct. You are correct, and that is what GTI function and support to the industry will be going forward, and this fits exactly into the mandate of GTI of reindustrializing, radical change, creating jobs. We have to promote the industry not only for the TDM sector, but in general.
Would pooling imply a pooling of resources, or what do we mean about when we talk about pooling?
Okay, when we look at the tooling, then I've had the remark that from some purchasing guys that they go to a factory in a foreign country, and they will be told we have got 20 or 25 CNC machines. In terms of pooling, currently we have a informal cluster going, and I can tell you now we have 51 CNC machines available today. We have 25 wire cutting machines available today, and it's about organization. So that means in terms of pooling, it means working together in clusters. That's the first thing. And then furthermore, enterprise development. That means taking the lessons learned in certain of the better some of the better tool die and mold making companies and translating it to the rest of the sector. So pooling means working together.
The fourth P, production. Are we talking about increased production? Are we talking about better quality? Are we talking about on-time delivery? I presume some of these and some more.
Yeah, in terms of production, we are talking about first and foremost, we have to have competent design in place.
Okay.
The second thing that we have to have in place is we have to contract in a very professional manner. The third thing is we have to have try-out facilities in place so that we can assure the quality. And we have to have quality control in place. So in terms of production, we are actually going to address the fourth wave of production. The intention is to support the industry with the technology that the CSIR is putting in place, where a lot of the software and the communication will be in the cloud. So production means pooling capabilities so that we do have 50 plus CNC machines available, so that we do have 30 or 20 or 30 plus wire cutters available, so that we have the pooled resources available, and working together in a single project with a single face to the customer and a single point of responsibility, so that we can do the production as efficiently in terms of quality, cost and delivery as what we can get from anywhere else in the world.
Okay. These 4 Ps is one huge task and one huge job. And how would these things now translate into reality? I mean, what are we going to start doing tomorrow or next week?
Okay, if you allow me, I'm going to show you the result of the last board meeting that the GTI held, where the needs were integrated with the offering and with the strategy of the Gauteng province.
Is that now the needs of the province?
Yeah, it's the needs of the TASA members. Park that it is the needs of the TDM industry in Gauteng versus the support that we can get and are getting from the Gauteng province. I just want to share with you what happened in the last GTI board meeting and how these needs and support functions now are aligned. The TDM industry put their strategy down in this format here. This was the purpose, the desired outcomes, and what to do. And that was then communicated to the board of GTI. But the board of GTI consists of the TDM industry on the one hand and the Gauteng Department of Economic Development on the other hand. And here we have the Gauteng Department of Economic Development strategy also documented. So at the board meeting, we took the key items that was put forward by the TDM industry, and that is all in yellow, and we took the key issues and the key items that the strategy of the Gauteng Department of Economic Development addresses in green, and we integrated it into a single plan. So the outcome of this is, number one, job creation, modernize the economy, industry clusters, re-industrialize Gauteng, lead the African industrial revolution. So the key is that the needs of the industry and the requirements for funding from the Gauteng Department of Economic Development is integrated into a specific plan to then get to the results that we require, and the most important one is creating more jobs.
Henk, thanks for sharing these plans and the intentions and the strategy of GTI going forward. This sounds hugely positive and comforting, and I'm sure it will have a seriously positive effect on the industry at large, and specifically for Gauteng.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me here. And to summarize, GTI is the support function that has been put in place and that is being funded by the Gauteng Department of Economic Development, specifically to revitalize and reindustrialize the tool, die and mold making activities in Gauteng province, so that we can create jobs in the manufacturing industry in Gauteng. Thank you very much again.
Thanks a lot.